All right, this is our Sportsmanlike Conduct weekly soccer segment. Talking
Yes,
about
we do soccer
goings
too.
on in the
We do
world of
soccer
football.
Football?
Football proper.
Yeah.
In the world, the rest of the world, the biggest sport in the world. Once you start getting into it, like I have this year, you just realize how huge.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I had no idea. Like I think a lot of people out there, you just don't know how huge it is. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a religion, really.
It's
a religion. Even like the not good teams that you see play, you have just crazed fans, and it's just
Scotland has 5 leagues.
Yeah.
In Scotland, that's like the size of Connecticut. And
Yeah.
they have 5 pro soccer leagues.
It's pretty insane.
Just to put it in perspective
yeah.
for some people,
Yeah.
like it's just crazy.
Yeah.
But so we had some good champions. I don't know, great champion. Some good games.
There were
Some good games.
games.
Nothing.
There's potential to be some really good games, but
By the time you got to the group stage,
Yeah.
but when none of the real when you look at the groups where there's 2 favorites, real favorites in each of those groups, they haven't played each other yet.
Right.
They're going to play each other down the road, like was it Real Madrid and AC Milan in the same group? That's going to start to get real interesting when they start playing each other. And just for a lot of people out there to throw it out there, the Champions League, 8 groups,
right,
4 teams in each group. So you got 32, which is supposedly the top 32 club teams in Europe each year. They're in the elite Champions League that they play, and in the group stage, it works pretty much like the World Cup, except they play more games.
Right.
Take the World Cup, double it.
Yeah.
Even the first round of the World Cup.
Yeah.
But take the first round of the World Cup. You play each other home and away.
Yep.
Every team in your group. Then it goes from there. It's exactly like the World Cup, where the top 2 advance.
Elimination.
Yeah, and then you play
home and away.
Home and away.
You get to we'll talk about that later. We go to differential, aggregate goals, and all that stuff. It's confusing stuff, but
just for people out there that don't know that much, you're playing like a World Cup type of tournament, except it's drawn out over the year. You play, once every 2 weeks, spread out. But you get your games in, the standings hold up.
Yeah. The Champions League is all of Europe. The top 2 is all of Europe. Then you have subdivisions. Let's say subdivisions, but other Premier League, the Bundesliga. You have everybody else so you're playing as this is all going on. Chelsea and Arsenal. They're all playing in another league as well. They're all fighting for the English Premier League title. So it's interesting if you kind of sit down and watch. They're going for both because some games that you're watching are for one cup or the other one. So it's interesting to see how the teams navigate. Because the players have to. The coaches they have to go. Well, I've got to. We're playing. Man U's playing Chelsea. In 2 days, and then right after that they play Liverpool. They've got to figure out who they want to use, and it's interesting stuff. So,
it just adds a little more drama. You'll see the Champions League means a lot.
Oh yeah.
And the Premier League means a lot too. The games, it's a little bit different. It's different than any other. Is it different than any other sport?
It's the best teams.
Right.
It's the best of the best.
It's the elite.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
So this past week was the first week of Champions League play for the 2010-2011 Champions League season. Chelsea, Arsenal. I've kind of grouped the teams, and you can maybe add a couple teams if you want into the group of favorites that I've created of Chelsea, Arsenal, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, AC Milan, Real Madrid, Man U, Spurs, and Inter Milan. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teams of the 32 that I think would be generally considered the favorites to one of those 9 teams is likely going to win the whole league.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
I would say, right?
I would add there might be like the Rangers. They're a sleeper team. I wouldn't add them to a favorite, but these are definitely the favorites.
Right.
Absolutely the favorites. There's some sleeper teams out there, but these are the favorites. Yeah, there's no doubt.
And not a single one of them lost their first game. Man U, Spurs, and Inter Milan. Inter Milan, the defending champions, got a draw in their first game against. I'll have to double check that they played.
Want to say
against Werder Bremen?
Yep.
I believe.
Yep.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No, I think it was 20 Anshed.
Is that who it was?
However you say that.
Okay. Yeah.
I believe so. But either way, kind of a surprising result for the defending champs.
The entire group's all good. They all have 1 point.
2-2 draws all the way around, but like we were talking about before we came on, Inter Milan and the Spurs both have the away goal, those 2 away goals.
That comes down to the aggregate goals like we talked about earlier. So
it's less likely to come out like that when you play 6 games in the group stage before advancing than when you're in the World Cup. When you're only playing 3 games, those are the goals really count. Or when you're playing those home and home series like you do in the playoff round of the Champions League, that's when it matters a lot. Your away goals. Still nice to have in your back pocket. The
best teams, obviously, in the group stages, they almost always rise to the top. Some of these teams are still getting the form. They're introducing some new players. A lot of teams have young players. Some of these people are hurt in the World Cup too. You had Rio Ferdinand for Man U. He didn't play since the World. Hasn't played. Missed the World Cup. Came back and played for Man U this past week against the Rangers. So you've got a lot of a lot of players like that coming in. They're still trying to get adjusted. So it's definitely going to pick up a lot. The goal scoring will pick up a lot with the better teams playing some of the not so good teams.
Yeah.
But
right now, we saw some blowouts with Barcelona and Chelsea.
And Barcelona's just firing. So is Chelsea. It's firing all cylinders. I mean, when you got Messi.
That looks like right now.
Oh, the Barcelona and the
Chelsea
AC.
Looks
oh yeah. They're like, 2 favorites. Yeah. They're
just watching Chelsea in the Premier League games this year.
They're
I don't know how they're going to lose the Premier League game playing the way they're playing. But of course, they play it's Liverpool, right? Or is that Man U? Liverpool?
No, Man U Liverpool play on Sunday for the English Premier League.
So Chelsea plays Blackpool, which probably actually is the toughest game that they've played so far in the EPL.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be very interesting to see. But Chelsea's got everyone: Drogba, healthy, clicking.
They got
Essien. Just playing.
Yaya Toure, they got Yaya Toure in the middle. I mean, they got a lot of really good players, and they're well coached, and they know
they're a juggernaut, right?
And there's really no way around it. There's no way.
When you watch their games, it's like I can't remember who they were playing, but there was one EPL game this year where it might have been Wigan. It was about 0-0 at the half, and then like 1-0. Right at the beginning of the second half, and then Chelsea just scored 5 goals in about 12 minutes, and it's 6-0. And it's like, there aren't many teams that can do that.
Well, you don't see soccer games that have 6 goals very often at all, and
they've already hung a couple 6 spots.
They have EPL 2. They had 2. The first 2 games were 6-0 wins. Granted, they weren't against top-notch teams, but even still to do that, very impressive. Very impressive, no doubt.
Okay, so we've established the favorites in Champions League. Which one of the favorites, this is the question that we're going to put to ourselves right here, which one of those 9 favorites is going to have the toughest time getting out of its group and advancing the playoff stage of Champions League?
Well, I think we both agreed that it's Tottenham, the Spurs, in their group.
Yes.
They have Twente, Inter, and Werder Bremen.
Yeah.
You could make an argument, and this sounds crazy for Man U. They just lost Valencia for a long time, shattered his ankle, really bad injury, so they don't have him up front now. So you're going to have, you've got Rooney and you have Nani. Valencia has a nice change of pace because some games Nani's just not as good in. In the Rangers game, the way the Rangers play, their midfield is real strong. Nani likes to run and push the ball upfield. Man U had to get in a rhythm, and that's why you didn't see him score any in that Rangers game because they couldn't get a rhythm. Their midfield is really good.
In the EPL, I didn't see the Champions League game, the Man U Rangers game. How was Berbatov on the field though?
No, Berbatov.
He made really well in the EPL games though. Like he scored quite a few goals.
That's all with the resting and getting people fresh all the time. Rooney, he had the weekend off from the EPL. He had some personal issues. Came back, twisted his ankle, stayed in the game. So, but they've got some injuries. They're not firing all cylinders. They let 2 goals in stoppage time to Everton in the EPL.
Yeah, that was a crazy game. That game was crazy.
And Van der Sar is not even starting for him anymore. Their backup goalie's in now. So
you have it.
But yeah.
Spurs, though.
Definitely.
Spurs and Man U. Man U definitely got to be concerned.
Yeah, no doubt. Valencia's winning that group right now, too. So
yeah. That's going to be Valencia's a good team. Werder Bremen's a tough team out of the Bundesliga, too. That the Spurs are going to have to deal with in that Group A. But we got to go. Keep your eyes open this weekend. Sunday, 8:30, Man U Liverpool. That's going to be the EPL game of the week to watch. We're out till next week. See ya.